Welcome back to my channel Chemistry Made Simple for NEET. I am Dr. Lakshmi Subramaniam with a PhD in Chemistry. I hope you have watched my previous sessions. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. In today's video, we are going to learn about the wonderful world of chemistry, Unit 14, Class 11, NCERT Chemistry. The lesson name is Environmental Chemistry. I have divided this unit into 3 parts for your convenience and we'll be doing part 1 today. Now, without wasting our time, we'll start the session. First, as you can see in the figure, we are going to see what is acid rain. You know, when the pH of the rainwater drops below 5.6, that is a value, it is called acid rain. Now, acid rain is the way in which the acid from the atmosphere is deposited on the earth's surface. You know, the oxides of nitrogen and sulfur, that is you can see in the figure NO2 and SO2, nitrogen dioxide and sulfur dioxide. They are acidic in nature and they are blown by the wind along with solid particles in the atmosphere, and finally they settle down either on the ground as dry deposition or in water, fog and snow as wet deposition. You know, acid rain damages buildings and other structures made of stone or metal, and Taj Mahal in India has been affected by acid rain. So, acid rain can be said as a byproduct of a variety of human activities which emit the oxides of sulfur and nitrogen in the atmosphere. And as we have studied earlier, burning of fossil fuels like coal and oil in power station, furnace, diesel, petrol, motor engines, they all produce these gases, that is sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide, and a reaction with water you get two acids like sulfuric acid and nitric acid which falls down as rain. So I hope this part is clear for you. Now we are going to come to our main topic, environmental chemistry. Now what is meant by environmental chemistry? Environmental chemistry deals with the study of the origin, transport, reactions, effects and fates of chemical species in the environment. So, it involves the study of chemical and biochemical phenomena that takes place in the environment. So, if you have to study about these undesirable changes that takes place in your surroundings and it has got harmful effects on plants, animals and human beings. So, to study the source, reaction, transport, effects, chemical molecules present in air, soil and water. So, the environmental studies actually deals with the sum of all these factors which I have mentioned. So, here we can say that environment means it is a sum total of physical and biological factors which directly influence the survival, growth, development and reproduction of organism, to be put in simple words. Now, environment actually means the surroundings. So, let us discuss some important aspects of environmental chemistry. Surrounding means it consists of 4 major components: 1 atmosphere, 2 hydrosphere, 3 lithosphere and 4 biosphere. So, environmental chemistry is that branch of science which deals with the chemical phenomena that is happening in the environment, that is the study of origin, transport, reaction, effect and fates of chemical species in the environment in detail. So, already we have looked into the introduction. Now, we have got to learn these topics as well from this unit, like environment pollution, atmospheric pollution which includes tropospheric pollution, global warming, acid rain. Acid rain I have described in detail already, smoke, ozone hole. Then under water pollution, we have got to know about the international standards for drinking water, and soil pollution like waste dumping, strategies to control environmental damage, and green chemistry, that is green chemistry in day-to-day life. Now going on to environmental pollution. Environment pollution means the effect of the undesirable changes that is happening in our surroundings which provides or which gives harmful effects to plants, animals and human beings. So what is a pollutant? Any substance which causes pollution is called a pollutant, which can be solid, liquid or gas, present in greater concentration than in natural abundance, and they are produced due to human activities or due to natural happenings. Now what is atmospheric pollution? Air pollution is defined as addition of undesirable material that comes into the atmosphere due to natural phenomena or due to human activity on the earth that will adversely affect the air quality, and so it affects the life on earth as well. So that is known as atmospheric pollution. It is generally studied as tropospheric and stratospheric pollution. Now what is tropospheric pollution? Tropospheric pollution actually occurs due to the presence of, again it is the same thing, undesirable solid or gaseous particles in the air. So the major gaseous and particulate pollutants present in troposphere are: one is gaseous air pollutants, which are the oxides of sulfide, hydrocarbons, ozone and other oxidants. Then second is particulate pollutants, which are dust, mist, fumes, smoke, etc. Now what is atmospheric pollution? Again addition of undesirable materials into the atmosphere by natural phenomena or by human activity. Why I am repeating these points again and again is that, so if I repeat it, then you will be able to follow it and remember it without any difficulties. And air pollution, what does it cause? What harmful effect it causes? It changes the quality of the air and it affects the flora and fauna and the health of animals, human beings and all that. And the air pollutants can be either gases or particulates, and gases are oxides of sulfur, nitrogen, hydrocarbon, ozone and other oxidants. And what are the sources of pollution? Like it can be natural, then from vehicles, domestic industries, volcano eruption, then soil erosion, photo dissociation, then photoionostatic burning of fossil fuels, waste incineration, emission from industries. All these factors you can see around you. Then particulate pollutants are mainly dust, mist, fumes, smoke and also minute solid particles or liquid droplets in air. Then sources are mainly from vehicle emissions like smoke particles from fires, also dust particles, ash from industries. Then particles can be viable or non-viable. What are viable particulates? Viable particulates like bacteria, fungi, molds, algae, etc. Then the living organisms which are dispersed in the atmosphere, that also will cause diseases. And non-viable particulates are combustion or burning of organic matter. Now we have seen about all the main points of atmospheric pollution. And again, when you come to dust, what is dust? It is a fine solid particles which are produced during crushing or grinding and attribution of solid materials. Mainly cement, fly ash from factories causes a great deal of dust pollution. Then mists are produced by particles of spray liquids by condensation of vapors in air that you can see outside, and always most of the time in the early mornings and all that you can see mist. Then fumes and vapors which are generated by various processes like chemical reaction, condensation, sublimation, distillation, boiling and all. Then airborne particles are extremely dangerous for human health. And also smoke plus fog together causes smoke. That is a common form of air pollution which occurs in major cities. Then classical smoke or reducing smoke. Mainly it occurs in cool and humid climate, which is a mixture of smoke, fog and sulfur dioxide. Then we have got photochemical smoke that occurs in warm, dry and sunny climate, and reaction components due to chain reaction by sunlight or unsaturated hydrocarbons, nitrogen oxides, free oxygen atom and all that. Mostly it has high concentration of oxidizing agent, and so we call it as oxidizing smoke. You can see some example: NO2 plus O2 plus H nu, that is a frequency of photon or light particle, will give you NO plus ozone. And then again you can see the following equation: OH radical here is the dominant oxidizer in troposphere. So these are the main points of atmospheric pollution. And now we move on to water pollution. It is mainly due to human activities, as you know. and major contamination is coming mostly from domestic or municipal discharge water and discharge coming from industries and all that. Then organic matter like leaves, grass, trash, waste, etc. Excessive phytoplanktons growth within water will cause water pollution. Then normally the decomposition of bacteria above organic matter and consumed oxygen which is dissolved in water, pathogens which are disease causing microorganisms and harmful bacteria. Then microorganism it enter water from domestic sewage and animal excreta. So some of the important points of water pollution we have seen already. Then continuing with that, we can see domestic waste. You can know that about soaps, detergent, refectories, etc. And industries are one of the major source of water pollution. Then hazardous toxic organic chemicals, heavy metals like cadmium, mercury, nickel, these metals are all very dangerous to human body. So one should not come to contact with such metals. Then pathogens like disease causing microorganisms and bacteria. Then microorganism entering water from sewage and animal excreta. Now what is soil pollution? Contamination or soil pollution, it is caused by chemicals which comes from dumping of waste, pesticides, insecticides, urbanization, mining and all that. What is waste dumping? All of you know that we have to keep our house and surroundings and the public places clean, and mostly what happens, industrial places and factories and all, they dump solid waste and sludge. Then also the industrial emissions like fly ash from thermal power plants, radioactive materials which affects the soil for a long period of time, because they've got a long half-life period, so they'll be in the soil for a long time. And mining which affects ground and surface waters, aquatic life, vegetation, soil, animal, human health. Then acid mine drainage, it can even kill aquatic life. And toxic metals and chemicals released by mines, these are all causing soil pollution. And also pesticides, many of the chemicals are used as pesticides. It is in the soil which contaminates and adversely affects soil conservation. Then what happens when you use pesticides in a great quantity? It decreases the biodiversity in the soil and it reduces the nitrogen fixation, thereby affecting or damaging the crops. Then animals may be poisoned by pesticide residues which remain on food even after spraying. The animals like certain grass eating animals cannot consume all these poisonous plants and all that. And also the food materials which is really harmful to animals as well as human beings. And poison from pesticides, it affects the food chain and bioaccumulates. Now how can you manage waste? What is waste management? It is nothing but it is a collection, transport, processing, disposal, managing and monitoring of waste materials. Nowadays you know that in urban cities like in important cities and all that, we have got a very big waste management system where the waste materials are collected from individual houses and factories, shops and all that, and they are taken away to some far away places and disposal is done. And all waste materials like solid, liquid, gases or radioactive substances and these are try to reduce harmful environmental impact through different methods, and usually they reduce normally waste management. What is the importance? It is used to reduce the effect on health and it keeps the environment clean. And also it control of population growth is another way, because if there is more population, more waste will be generated and it is difficult to dispose all the waste quantities. Then also by reducing the burning of fossil fuels, forests and all that, the more effectively we can manage waste. And finally by avoidance and reduction methods. And with that we come to an end of this session, part 1 and class 11, environmental chemistry. And one thing I have to mention here is that achieving your goal requires dedication and hard work. So all of you keep yourself focused and don't get distracted in your studies, and there is no shortcut for success. And with that we are coming to an end of this session, and I'll be uploading the second part at the earliest. So thanks for watching my video. We'll come meet with the next video soon.